car, the track, the driver. That's when magic happens.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
With just 284 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Joe is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the WSC60 Alfa Romeo Tipo 33's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
With just 283 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. The Carl Hyper posted 4:12.783 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Spa-Francorchamps is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today in Europe. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Spa-Francorchamps 1966.
Dennis Schramm has a best lap time of 3:54.512. And off goes Richard Rossi, easing into the rhythm of Spa-Francorchamps 1966. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
Alright, Mikhail Hyper has put down a 12.783. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that WSC60 Porsche 904X.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Richard Rossier is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The outline is like the opening chapter of a book. It sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Spa-Francorchamps 1966.
Bogan Cromulences on the out lap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Dennis Schramm posted a 3:54.531 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Bogan Cromulence is on the out lap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Renault 99 has a best lap time of 3:55.920. There's the first flying lap for Bakal Hyper, hitting 4:12.783. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Watch as Bogan Cromulence takes it nice and easy on this out lap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob. They're calibrating everything, the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Let's talk rubber. Tire pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. It's like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact patch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best home. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
With just 274 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There's bogan cromulence, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Spa-Francorchamps 1966.
There goes bogan cromulence, on their first dance with Spa-Francorchamps 1966. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yeah, and it's about syncing with the car too. Making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
And off goes Quim 1962, easing into the rhythm of Spa-Francorchamps 1966. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
It's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders here at Spa-Francorchamps 1966, as the drivers will bring up skills to the test in the qualifying session.
The pressure is on to set the fastest lap times, and the tension is palpable.
Richard Rossier, currently in position 4. They've shown great speed and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result.
Couldn't agree more. Wrong. Richard Rossier has positioned themselves impressively in 4th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Currently in 8th, Stuart Boylan has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a high grid position. Tough outing for Patrick Schwantz in qualifying today. They currently sit in 12th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyse their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Patrick Schwantz is currently facing a challenging situation, but they have the skills and experience to tackle it head-on. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and push themselves to the limit to turn things around.
A strong showing from Dennis Schramm as they currently sit in 2nd. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
Absolutely, Rob. Dennis Schramm has put in a remarkable effort to secure 2nd. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Disappointing performance from roll postmen so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 12th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result.
Absolutely, Rob. Roel Postma is aware of the current situation, and they'll be looking to make the most of the remaining time. They'll need to analyze their performance, work closely with their team, and find that extra bit of speed to improve their qualifying position.
Dennis Schramm has put in a great effort and currently holds third. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Challenging session for Joe Ergu so far. They're currently in 16th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result.
I completely agree, Rob. Ergu is in a difficult position, but they have the opportunity to analyze their performance so far and make the necessary adjustments. It's all about regrouping and giving their best shot in the remaining time.
There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. Dennis Schramm has completed their outlap. A solid qualifying performance by Plain Ski, positioning them in 5th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the front. Plain Ski has completed their outlap. Impressive work from Quinn 1962, who has claimed 2nd on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. Qualifying session for Eden GT. They're currently mired in 14th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. Solid performance from Renault 99 as they currently hold position 4. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Renault 99 has positioned themselves well in 4th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
Renault 99 has completed their outlap. It's been a challenging session for Roll Postma. They're currently languishing in 13th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Roel Postma is facing a tough challenge, but they are known for their fighting spirit. This qualifying session is a test of their character, and I believe they have what it takes to overcome this setback.
Postma has completed their outlap. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Stuart Boyle has completed their first flying lap in 4:03.782. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Richard Rossier has completed their outlap. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. Incredible performance by Dennis Schramm so far. They have been the benchmark in this qualification, consistently setting fast lap times and securing the top spot. It's a commanding position for them, and their rivals will be chasing their tail.
Absolutely, Rob. Dennis Schramm is making their presence known with their outstanding performance. Their competitors will need to dig deep and find something special to challenge their supremacy.
Dennis Schramm has just completed a lap in 3:55.064. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. It's an impressive showing by Renault 99, currently in third. They've shown Renault 99 has just completed a lap in 3:56.119. Their best lap so far is 3:56.119. Putting them in P2, will they be able to hold on to that spot? And there goes Sunoiler, currently in position 7. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Sunoiler has completed their first flying lap in 4:00.227. Disappointing performance from Raimo Pedersen in this qualifying session. Currently in 13th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race. Raimo Pedersen has completed their outlap. Impressive display by Richard Rossier, currently sitting in position 4. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
I completely agree, Rob. Richard Rossier has positioned themselves impressively in fourth. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position. Just completed a lap in 3:57.626. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. What a fantastic showing from Dennis Schramm in qualifying. They currently hold the top spot and are in prime position for a strong starting position. Their lap times have been exceptional, and they have showcased their talent and determination.
Dennis Schramm will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session. Incredible drive by Raimo Pedersen so far, earning them 10th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Raimo Pedersen has just completed the lap in 4:00.579. Their best lap so far is 4:00.579, putting them in P7. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Patrick Schwann so far. They find themselves in 15th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
Absolutely, Rob. Patrick Schwanz is facing a challenging situation, but they have the skill and determination to turn things around. It's not over until the checkered flag, and they still have a chance to improve their result.
Patrick Schwanz has completed their outlap. A tough outing for Joe Ergu qualifying today. They currently sit in 13th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result. I'm thinking Joe Ergu could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 4:04.241 isn't cutting it for 13th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
Crew 1962 has secured a respectable third in the qualifying session. Can they capitalise on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Great analysis, Rob. Quim 1962 has shown excellent pace to secure third. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. A solid qualifying performance by Quim 1962, positioning them in third at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Currently in third, Quim 1962 has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Quim 1962 has positioned themselves impressively in third. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
It's a very still day here at Spa-Francorchamps 1966, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
Dennis Schramm has got the inside track starting from pole position. We're seeing Renault 99 in the second spot.
It's like they're on the outside looking in. Can they make their way to the front of the pack?
Quim 1962 is third. Richard Rossier is holding down the fort in fourth place.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Our fifth place starter, Klangsky, is poised to make a move towards the front.
And they are looking to start the race on the Standards tire compound.
Sunoiler is going to be starting from 6th. Lining up in 7th is Raimo Pedersen. Jack M team is placed in 8th. The 9th starting position belongs to Mark Smith, who will be looking to make up ground early on.
Another mid-pack start for Mark Smith.
Starting from 10th on the grid is a good position for Megasaurus 55 to launch an attack.
It's the Standards tires for Megasaurus 55.
Starting from 11th on the grid is not ideal for Patrick Schwantz, but they're a fighter.
Patrick Schwantz has been looking strong all week. Expect big things.
Stuart Boyle may have a bit of work to do starting from 12th on the grid.
Where can Stuart Boyle finish today?
Joe Yu will need to be on top of their game starting from 13th on the grid.
Where can Jorg Yu put that WSC60 Alfa Romeo Tipo 33?
Starting from 14th on the grid is a tough ask for Mikhail Heidel, but they're up for the challenge. They're all looking. This ain't just a Sunday drive for money.
That's half the battle. Push too hard too soon, and they're just asking for trouble.
Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race.
The race is long in the first trip, but there have been plenty that have ended there wrong.
Well, slap me with a didgeridoo. Dennis Schramm's gone from top dog at 1 to playing catch up at 4. It's a twisted turn of events here at Spa-Francorchamps 1966.
Well buttered my biscuit. Dennis Schramm is taking quite the time. Going from 1 to 4, they're in a deeper pickle than John Hill. There.
Mark Smith is tearing up the track, making up positions when they're going out of style.
Sure as sugar, Mark Smith's got a pep in their step today. Let's see if they can keep those boots stomping all race long.
I can't wait to see how this race will play out.
There are a few drivers with a point to prove, and a few with some grudges to pay. Will we see a fun race today?
Pick over when the dust settles on this one. It's a solid performance from Klangsky at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them.
And that's what separates the pros from the rookies. Klangsky knows when to push and when to play it safe. It's a dance, and they've got the rhythm.
Feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
Let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
This is getting exciting. Raimo Pedersen pulled off a late charge advantage. It's a game of inches now as Megasaurus 55 tails Patrick Schwantz closer, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Close battle as Jack M team closer to Patrick Schwantz. Lars Hammer is right on the heels of Joe Yu, and we're in for a wild ride.
That's right, Ron. The pressure is palpable. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? legging it from Megasaurus 55. The gap's growing like a well-working. Hold on to your hats. Mike Smith is gunning for Richard Rossi. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves in the next bend.
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Mark Smith to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
The action is non-stop as Joe Erbu shadows Bogan Cromulence through every twist and turn, determined to claim 12th.
You reckon Bogan Cromulence is sweating bullets yet, Rob? Because I'd be needing a towel by now with your you right behind me.
The gap between Stuart Boyle and Bakal Hyper is razor thin as they vie for 10th in this nail-biting contest. Big gains for Stuart Boyle as they move up the field, leaving Bakal Hyper behind. The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics. But we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of AI commenting in a race. Anything can happen.
Haha, you have a contest. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right.
They're so fast, it's like they're breaking the sound barrier. Or at least the speed limit.
I hope the police aren't watching. Even though Joe Erbu is a fair way behind Stuart Boyle, they can't afford to let their guard down. Stuart Boyle is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Well, in the rearview mirror of life, your view might look closer than they appear. But on this track, they've got some miles to cover to catch Stuart Boyle.
This is a feeling like playing ski is closer to Mark Smith in their fight for P3.
It's hotter than a jalapeno out here. If Playing Ski gets any closer to Mark Smith, we're gonna need to put this stream on OnlyFans.
Breaking development. Things don't look to be going Richard Rossi's way, as already they are into the pits.
Certainly not where they want to be at this stage in the race, that's for sure wrong.
This is edge of the seat. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. Bakal Hyper just made a doozy of a blunder.
Lars Hamp is on a mission, chasing Joe Erbu, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
The roaring engines are echoing Lars Hampa's battle cry. Jorg you, can you hear the thunder?
Crikey, Lars Hamp is moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 9th. You know, Rob, these pit stops always amaze me. Just a few seconds, and they change tyres, refuel, adjust settings. It's like a well-choreographed dance.
Absolutely, and the precision. One slight misstep, and it could cost the race. It's an art and a testament to the pit crew's relentless training and coordination.
The adrenaline is pumping as Lars Hamp gets within striking distance of Joe Erbu in their race for 7th.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
How challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and keen understanding of the car's behavior.
Megasaurus 55 wants to get into low speed slipstream. Not coming up roses for Megasaurus 55. Their trailing roll coaster caps on the lines. They don't seem to have a response. It's like looking at It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
This battle between Lars Hampa and Jorg you is so intense, you could cut the tension with a knife, or should I say, with a front limb. Did we just race again?
It seems Lars Hampa is recalibrating, now at 10th.
We've seen Lars Hampa in such situations before. A temporary descent, but always with an eye on the bigger picture.
Breaking news, folks. That won't be ideal for Renault 99.
Whoa Nelly, looks like Renault 99's been watching too much NASCAR, trying to drift on an F1 circuit.
Lars Hamp is breathing down the neck of Joe Erbu, waiting for a perfect chance to make them. Mate, are they packing something extra down? Lars Hamp is just rocketing into 9th. Lars Hamp's on the back foot, struggling to keep up with Joe Erbu like a dingo after a roadrunner. Oi, Dennis Schramm is on Richard Rossi like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on quarterback sack.
right behind Stuart Boyle. Braking alert. I don't think that's the fastest way around Spa-Francorchamps 1966.
By the looks of it, Bogan Cromulence has been taking driving tips from them Duke boys. Ain't the Dukes of Hazzard, friend.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Stuart Boyle is definitely living on the edge today.
The track tells a tale of speed, strategy, and skill. Today, it narrates Wayne Pearson's journey in 12th.
Oh, spot on. With the way Wayne Pearson controls that 12th, you'd think they've got the track's blueprint.
Incident alert. Looks like Raimo Pedersen is coming into the pits early. Now is that to serve a penalty, or have they picked up some damage during the start? Lars Hamilton is running 9. They are trying to catch Joe Ergu. Lars Hamp's not here to muck about. The gap to Joe Ergu is dropping faster than a hot pie of footy, now at 0.4 seconds.
I've seen drivers fight G-forces, fatigue, and mental strength. But Lars Hampa is doing more than just enduring, they're thriving. You better check that rearview mirror.
Wow, Joe Ergu is really pushing hard to catch up to Patrick Schwantz. There's blood in the water for 7th place.
This is where the mental game comes into play.
As they speed through Master Straight, Patrick Schwantz is relentlessly pursuing Joe Ergu in a high-stakes battle for position. This is what it's all about, folks. Roll Postman, on pursuit of Megasaurus 55, who's just trying to stay ahead.
One wrong move, and you could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Roel Postma and Megasaurus 55, though I doubt the judges will give this perfect score.
If Patrick Schwantz can keep this up, they deserve a cold one after the race.
Agreed. It may be the sweet taste of victory, or help ease the loss.
Patrick Schwantz is really belting along the track, leaving Lars Hampa struggling to keep pace.
That's right, Rob. If Lars Hampa doesn't pick up the pace, they might as well be moving at a snail's pace. It's clear as day that Patrick Schwantz is holding all the cards. They're making it near impossible for Lars Hampa to close that gap.
Stone the Crows. Patrick Schwantz is on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round of the Cup waiting. Hello, 7th. Hold on to your stubbornness. It's closing in on Roll Postman like a bachelor at the end of a Bucks night. Hope Roll Postman gets some more protection.
Now, ain't that something? Megasaurus 55's car is coming to the start too. He's looking to take Roel Postma for a spin around the dance floor of Spa-Francorchamps 1966.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Someone is breathing down the neck of Lars Hampa, not giving him any room to relax.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Buckle up. Lars Hampa is all over Joe Ergu like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
If Lars Hampa pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during the race.
It's like watching two predators circle each other.
That's right. Megasaurus 55 is determined to pass Roel Postma and secure a higher position.
Gee whiz, someone is breathing down Lars Hampa's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Lars Hampa's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded. Megasaurus 55's right up Roel Postman's chart as they seem to be all expecting some drive.
They say running is racing, but if Megasaurus 55 gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber centimeters instead of positions.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
Should things go south, Megasaurus 55, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars. It's way less fun than real race cars.
Not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.31 seconds.
Can Roel Postma refocus and
Sorry to cut in here. Well, Ed and GT's decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them. It looks like Roel Postma is all over Megasaurus 55. I think they are gonna press it through Marmy and try and press for a mistake.
for sure Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Megasaurus 55 is going to be aware of them riding their bumper.
We've seen overtakes, close calls, and pure racing genius today. Hold that thought, hold the phone, talk about going walkabout on the track. Raimo Pedersen's off on a little bush adventure at Spa-Francorchamps 1966, aren't they? This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really come into play. Roel Postma is chasing Megasaurus 55 in P5.
Butter my biscuit. Roel Postma is hot on Megasaurus 55's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Spa-Francorchamps 1966 today.
At this stage of the race, Joerg Yu is holding on to 10th. Anything can happen from here. Well, that was a proper Barbie flip by Joerg Yu. Too much snagger, not enough bun. Things are heating up as Roel Postma closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap between them is down to practically.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will get recognition as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Ripper of a lap from Roel Postma. They're off like a bride's nightie.
By the stars and stripes, Roel Postma must have had some of Grandma's secret chili last night. That was a firecracker of a lap.
You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Ah, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
Blimey, Roel Postma's gunning it in 6th. Just a whisker of Megasaurus 55. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. It's game on now. Roel Postma is closing back Megasaurus 55. It's now down to 0.3 seconds. You'd think Stuart Boyle is trying to find water in the outback with that gap. A miracle, or sun oiler's blunder, might be the only saving.
I reckon it's like looking for a needle in a haystack right now. Every time you hit that, it's a lesson learned. If Stuart Boyle don't want to be left in the dust, they better hit the grindstone and burn some midnight oil in practice.
Things are looking as quick as usual for Stuart Boyle, lagging behind Sunoiler and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Like a scene from a thriller, Roel Postma's on Megasaurus 55's tail, hungry for that spot.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
Alright, Roel Postma, save some for the rest of us. Heading down laps faster and go through cold ones on a summer arvo. Speaking of down, mid-race fuel stop strategies. I reckon it's like this. Sorry to interrupt here, but looks like Dennis Schramm tried the old "dingo stole my race line" trick. A tad too clever by half.
I reckon Dennis Schramm thought they were panning for gold off the track there. Sorry, buddy, that's not how you strike it rich.
Oh, the chase is on. Roel Postma is breathing down the neck of Megasaurus 55.
They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Roel Postma is shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
From where we're sitting, Patrick Schwanz seems unmovable. Stop the press. Well, if it isn't Patrick Schwanz, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac.
I swear, Patrick Schwanz is acting like they found Elvis off track. Spoiler, the king ain't there.
The pursuit is on. Roel Postma is closing the gap on Megasaurus 55, determined to claim P5.
The gap between them is just over 0.9 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
the gap to Megasaurus 55 has decreased. It's now down to 0.5 seconds.
Now, ain't that something? Roel Postman is right. He needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Megasaurus 55.
It may seem like Jack M Team is far behind, but Clang Ski can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Jack M Team an opening to catch up. You'd reckon Patrick Schwanz was tracing the shadows of ancient Dreamtime stories with that sprawling distance ahead. It's a trek that rivals the tales of old bunyip chasers.
Feels like they're chasing moonshine dreams in broad daylight, doesn't it? But every now and then, the dream becomes real.
If Patrick Schwanz doesn't pick up the pace, how, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. There's no escape now. Roll Postman is breathing fire and has locked onto Megasaurus 55's tail. Looks like Roll Postman is letting others have their 15 seconds of fame. Hold up a moment. Well, Plansky's spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map? Or a therapist?
Hot diggity. If Plansky had abandoned it, they'd be strumming a sad tune right about now.
It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Bogan Cromulence steal it from Eden GT? Now, that's what I'm talking about. Plansky is proper nipping at Jack M Team's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Plansky is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
Looks like Sunwheeler is chasing Lars Ham harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right?
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Sunwheeler and thinking the same.
Fair dinkum, Sunwheeler's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Plansky's got Jack M Team in their crosshairs.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
Oh dear, Richard Rossier has had an incident.
Gee whiz, Richard Rosier's lost direction faster than I lost my mood. Welcome to the club.
The gap might be more than a second, but Plansky is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it, and something's got to give.
Exactly. Plansky's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Fair dinkum, Plansky is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Jack M Team is now down to a whisker at 0.8 seconds. Richard Rossier isn't just racing, they're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in 15th.
And just like in the drama, Richard Rosier is the lead actor right now, captivating us all from the 15th.
In a race where seconds count, Patrick Schwanz is counting on less of them between themselves and Stuart Boyle. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. It's a dynamic landscape out there. Patrick Schwanz's shift to 11th is testament to that. Blimey, not Clinton Kakatin veered off the track like I veer away from commitment. Maybe they'll come back, unlike my ex. Blimey, Dennis Schramm's more eager to catch Raimo Pedersen than the bloke at the bar at last call. Hope he's got the stamina for this chase. Bloody hell, Dennis Schramm's crunch time. Raimo Pedersen is sniffing around Dennis Schramm like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 13th.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Raimo Pedersen or Dennis Schramm? This is high-stakes racing.
Crikey, Raimo Pedersen is losing touch with Dennis Schramm quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition of Assetto Corsa friends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Assetto Corsa friends really is the place to be for top quality racing.
Fair dinkum, I reckon Sunderland's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Lars Hamp in the front. Wayne Pearson wants to close that gap with Dennis Schramm. The gap between Wayne Pearson and Dennis Schramm is widening. It's now up to 1.4 seconds. Incident alert. Just like my hope in finding the one, Wayne Pearson's direction seems a bit lost right now.
That maneuver from Wayne Pearson? Just like my attempt at DIY car mods. Ambitious, but not quite right.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Sunderland and Lars Hamp. It's almost like a Saturday night day, but with a lot more rubber burning. Battle of wheels out there, with Stuart Boyle trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Sunderland. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
Watching Stuart Boyle right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
If racing were a dance, Jack M team would be trying to lead, but Roll Postma just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Jack M team acquaints themselves with a new perspective that's breaking alert. Blimey, Jack M team's just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burned.
If Jack M team was fishing, they'd have thrown that one back into the pond. That's a tough go.
Looks like Stuart Boyle's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
Who boy? Stuart Boyle needs to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're slower than molasses in January when my cousin Earl climbed the crossroad.
Remember when we thought Stuart Boyle had peaked? Again, they're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Jack M team's mirrors awfully busy. Someone's revved up after lunch. Stuart Boyle's blitzed ahead, claiming 8th. As Patrick Schwantz trails Joe Erbu, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
Look, Patrick Schwantz's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
Whoa there, Sunderland is sticking to Lars Hamp like glue. You reckon Lars Hamp's feeling the pressure? Cause I sure would. Things are getting spicy as Patrick Schwantz is breathing down Joe Erbu's neck. The gap, mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Blimey, Sunderland is closing in on Lars Hamp like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Clubhouse.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Sunderland must be laser focused on Lars Hamp's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
Well, butter my biscuit. Sunoiler is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Lars Hamp some grey hairs.
Well, I'll be. Sunoiler's burning rubber like they're late for hoedown. Lars Hampa's got their work cut out for them.
Creaky, Mark Smith sticking to Renault 99 like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. Hold up a mo, Jack M team has decided to pit. This is where the race gets really interesting. Sunoiler is closing in on Lars Hamp. Now isn't this a show? Dennis Schramm's got the fit between their teams, and they're reeling in Joe Irvine. Look at him weave and bob through Radion and close.
Honestly, Rob, with this chase, I'm half expecting to see some sneaky dive bombs in the next few laps. Popcorn.
Breaking development, Jack M team is in the pits. It's like a Barbie in summer. Joe Irvine is the snag sizzling on the grill, and Dennis Schramm, the hungry mate waiting for a bite. In the grand chessboard of racing, Joe Irvine appears to have just been checked. Now stationed at 11th.
That's got to be frustrating. But your unit is still driving, and they have what it takes to battle their way back up the field.
You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage? Sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point. Strategy is everything out here.
Who needs speed dating when you've got Dennis Schramm chasing down Patrick Schwanz's eagle? Move over Tinder. This is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour.
I've seen molasses move faster than this. Just kidding. But Dennis Schramm is surely making Patrick Schwanz feel the heat. It's a Southern Summer Showdown album.
I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Dennis Schramm's just breezed into 9th. Patrick Schwanz could be looking for a way up the inside of Dennis Schramm. The chase music's playing in Mark Smith's head. Renault 99, moment by nail-biting moment.
Sweet tea and biscuits. Mark Smith's got the pedal to the metal, chasing down Renault 99 like it's the last slice of pie at a family reunion.
Good on ya, Jack M team. Trailin' so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy.
Sweet mercy. Jack M team's lagging like my grandma's old computer. Might be time to reboot, or at least pour some coffee into the gas tank.
Breaking development, Jack M team is pitting. Here's the thing about racing, sometimes it's not just about speed. It's about pressure, mind games, and this, right here, is a masterclass from Mark Smith. Sticking so close to the leader, making a breaking development, oi.
Is it just me or?
Nah, mate, Roll Postma really just took the scenic route through the outback of Spa-Francorchamps 1966. Crikey. Chances playing ski hounds Megasaurus 55, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
Rob, last time I saw Clang ski this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
Oh, this is getting intense. Wayne Pearson is just behind Richard Rossier. Oi, Stuart Boyle tried to pull a Steve Irwin and wrestled with the track limits. Track 1, Stuart Boyle 0. With every twist and turn, Klansky is shadowing Megasaurus 55, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt. Klansky's falling behind Megasaurus 55 at a rate of knots. Need some serious pedal power to close that gap. During your racing review, how did you determine when it was the right time to pit for fresh tyres due to tyre degradation?
It was a combination of factors, Rob. Monitoring lap times, communicating with the team about tyre wear, and assessing the car's handling were all crucial in deciding when to make a pit stop for fresh tyres.
You reckon Lars Hamp's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible. The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Lars Hampa is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Roel Postma.
Inching ever closer to Mark Smith. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Lars Hamp is dancing closer and closer to Roel Postma. You can feel the tension as they approach Master King. The best laid plans of Lars and Hamp are out, but it's certainly not going to plan for Lars Hamp right now as they are struggling to keep up with Roel Postma. You can feel the rumble from here. Renault 99's in the thick of it, and they're not letting go. It's a battle of wills, and only the strongest will come out on top.
Yeah, it's like the final lap of the Daytona 500.
Breaking news, folks. It looks like Wayne Pearson has been called into the pits. Well, butter my bread and call it a sandwich. Lars Hamp's not letting Roel Postma have all the fairy bread at his party. Watch out, Roel Postma is coming to a two-can tank.
In this high-speed game of chess, it's all about strategy. Who will make the next move?
Things are going according to plan. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Patrick Schwanz has pulled into the pits. It's a close race between Lars Hamp and Roel Postma in fifth.
It's going to be a close one. Lars Hampa will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
Now that's how it's done. Lars Hamp rips through the track, while Roel Postma watches the taillights fade. These engines aren't just humming for fun. They're thirstier than an Aussie after a game of cricket in the sun.
Cricket? That's like baseball with longer games, right? Anyway, these engines do have a roar that could rival any muscle car back home.
Tell ya what, Klansky's trailing harder than weight. Looks like Megasaurus 55 forgot they weren't at Bondi Beach, taking a dive like that.
Spa-Francorchamps 1966 is always a test for these drivers, and sometimes that's the way it is.
Pushing too hard to get to the States, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettling as they move to the last speed. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. Everyone's on the edge of their seats, or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Someone is getting closer to Roel Postma, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. Giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Roel Postma, they'll be seeing what they have to bring.
This here's where the steel meets the pavement. Both drivers got to keep their cool if they're looking to take a checkered plan.
During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
Someone is hot on the tail of Roel Postma. As they come into Malmedy, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside.
If someone gets any closer to Roel Postma, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
A great pass for Sunoiler as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Roel Postma. Well, that's an unexpected descent. Sunoiler finds themselves repositioned at 7th.
Well, change is the only constant. And in this dance, Sunoiler is certainly keeping us on our toes with that position shift.
Looks like Renault 99 is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curve can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? I swear, roll postman's on the ground, making the leap to 6th look easy at the Sunday Arvo barbecue. Well, I'd raise a toast to that number. Cheers to Roll Postman for nabbing 5th. Sunwheeler is in the flow, putting in their best lap so far. Hold on a moment, Richard Rossier is in the pits. The race has its rhythm, and right now, Anton Stamov is dancing to its beat at 21st.
Every lap is a story, and right now, Anton Stamov's chapter from 21st is riveting.
Sunwheeler wants to find a way round Roll Postman. So, Al, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers to stay focused and alert throughout the race.
By the looks of it, Dennis Schramm is keen to throw another shrimp in the barbie and crank up the heat with Stuart Boyle. Hold on to your stomachs.
Dang, Dennis Schramm's chasing Stuart Boyle like a Southern belle after a gentleman with a fat wallet. This is racier than a late-night movie marathon.
Sunwheeler seems to be putting the pressure on Roll Postman.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
Sunwheeler is in charge here now. They have just put in a quicker lap than Roll Postman. You know, Al, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
If Sunwheeler gets any closer to Roll Postman, they'll be asking to share a big time. Watch them duel it out at Eau de la Côte. Reminds me of two wombats fighting for the best burrow. Close, intense, and unpredictable.
Oh, this is gripping. With every lap, Renault 99 is drawing closer to that lead spot. They're both battling tire to tire.
If I were the leader, I'd be checking my mirrors every blink of an eye. Anyone who says that Assetto Corsa is the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers are born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic.
Breaking news, folks. Stone the crows. Anton Stamov's off in the bush again. Someone get him a map and compass.
Holy smokes. Anton Stamov's serving up some backyard barbecue with that smoke show. Just missing the ribs.
The battle for 5 is heating up as Sunwheeler tries to catch Roll Postman in P5.
There's a razor-thin line between glory and disaster, and both drivers are dancing right on it.
Sunwheeler's showing off some serious moves, making Roll Postman look like they're dancing with 2 left feet. Hold on a moment, Richard Rossier is pitting. The race is really heating up. Sunwheeler is hunting down Roll Postman with everything they've got. The gap between Sunwheeler and Roll Postman is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.9 seconds. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
Still in determination, laser focus, somewhere on this moment in the whole race. The battle lines are drawn.
This is where everyone's counts. Sunderland is pushing hard to close the gap on Royal Portsmouth. Absolutely, precision and control. Knowing when to push and when to pull back.
Watching momentum in the gap and trying to close the gap on Bogan Crocodiles is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. Seems like Sunweiler is getting in range of Roll Postmark.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
Bloody ripper. Someone making Roll Postmark look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
Giddy up, looks like Sunderland is kicking the dust out. Royal Postma better buckle up and respond.
You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into this race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanics working overnight on those boots. Racing is as much about team spirit and dedication as it is about speed on the ground. It's a collective masterpiece.
Coming into the pit lane, the chatter is all about Megasaurus 55's masterful hold on the third.
You're right. Every gear shift, every turn counts. Megasaurus 55 knows the weight of that third.
Wayne Pearson is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 15th spot. Alright, hold your horses. Someone that is really putting the heat on Roll Postmark. If I were Roll Postmark, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
With Sunderland on the hunt, Royal Postma better not miss. Every split second counts in this tango.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Roll Postmark is right on the heels of Sunweather, and we're in for a wild ride. Struth, Mark Smith's having a real dog's breakfast of a moment. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
Royal Postma is following Sunderland so closely, they can start charging their rep for occupying the same space on the ground.
It's looking good for Roll Postmark, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Sunweather.
Where there's a will, there's a relative.
Sunweather has the pedal to the metal chasing Roll Postmark. It's as intense as a Barbie in Midsummer out there for Mark Smith. They've got their eyes on the prize and won't settle for second.
Exactly, Rob. It's like aiming for that home run in the bottom of the ninth. Swing for the fences and don't look back.
Disappointing for Mark Smith, they now find themselves in third. If I had $1 for every time Sunweather closed the gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Roll Postmark, the thunder from down under is coming. A brilliant maneuver from Sunweather, who has just opened up the field.
Absolutely. Sunoiler is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it easy.
Stone the Crows. Sunoiler's pulled a sneaky, landing at 6th. Always a surprise with them. The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting race, and Stuart Boyle commanding the 8th. Great driving from Stuart Boyle, who has just gained a place and moved up the field.
Well, butter my biscuit. Stuart Boyle's burning rubber and climbing up to 7th.
There's a storm brewing, and it's got Sunweiler's name on it. Roll Postmark, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. Sunweiler is pushing hard, the gap to roll postman in 0.4 seconds. As rubber meets road and strategy meets luck, Wayne Pearson is etching their story in 15th. Excellent work from Wayne Pearson, who has managed to increase their lead over Richard Rossier. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. But with every smooth turn comes the risk of wrecking their car. Who will be the first to push it too far and crash out of the race?
That's right, Rob. These drivers are like musicians, finding their groove and playing their instruments to perfection. But just like in music, even the best players can hit a wrong note. Let's hope none of these drivers make any mistakes and end up singing the blues. You ain't whistling Dixie, Rob. Wayne Pearson's putting on a show that's sure to keep the crowd on the edge of their seats.
We got a close battle as Sunweiler closes in on roll postman.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
The race is heating up as Patrick Schwanz in 13th closes in on Mark Smith. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they're going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. It's all systems go for Wayne Pearson, marking their territory in the 15th. It looks like Richard Rossier is starting to catch up to Wayne Pearson. The gap is now down to 41.8 seconds. Breaking news, folks. Joe Erdune has decided to pit. Turns out what? Sunweiler's got more guts than the croc in the box of closing the gap and breathing down the neck of Roll Postman. Hope Roll Postman brought the air over because he's about to get bitten.
It's a pressure cooker out there. Every second shaved off means Sunweiler's a step closer to tasting victory.
You can feel the focus radiating from Wayne Pearson, confidently holding onto the 15th. It looks like Wayne Pearson has been called into the pits. Every move counts now as Sunweiler works to reel in Roll Postman and overtake the P4. Sunweiler's lap time slower than a roux with a limp. Wonder if they've had a few too many frothies last night. Roll Postman's not waiting around to find out. Oh mate, Richard Rossier is more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the barbie. Like Richard Rossier is making a move. The gap to Patrick Schwanz is now down to 21.4 seconds.
That's a great effort from Richard Rossier. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
Oh, this is getting intense. Sunweiler is just a few car lengths behind Roll Postman. The gap between Sunweiler and Roll Postman is getting smaller.
With every lap, I can see Sunweiler making micro adjustments on that steering wheel, refining traction control. They're itching to show Roel Postman their talent.
From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the front runners, is showing Browse in 17th.
Oh, for sure. But remember, the rearview mirror can be just as crucial as the windscreen. Not Clinton Cockadoo needs to watch out for those lurking in the shadows.
Not Clinton Cockadoo is getting the out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob, pride comes before a fall. Let's see if Bogan Cromulence can capitalize on any mistake.
As the laps tick by, Renault 99 finds themselves in first. Every moment counts. Megasaurus 55 is making ground on Renault 99 quicker than a roux in a paddock. Now, the gap's just 26 points. Sorry to cut in here. Whoa. Lars Hamp took that corner like my Uncle Baz after a six-pack, all over the shop.
Well, shoot, Lars Hamp is channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster, but always a show.
The action is non-stop as Sunwell shadows roll postman through every twist and turn, determined to claim fourth.
Should things go awry, Sunwell and Roel Postman might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term cannon drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
It looks like Roel Postman is all over Sunwell. I think they are gonna press him through Aston straight and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, that's exactly what I would be doing, as Sunwell is going to be aware of them riding their bumper. I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
The fifth is heating up. Who will be the first to bleed?
Well, bless my heart. Dennis Schramm is shadowing Roel Postman so closely, it's like they're hitched together. Keep an eye on them as they whip through Hollowell.
The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got Patrick Schwanz cruising in 14th.
They're not just driving, they're performing. And right now, Patrick Schwanz's act from 14th is worth an encore.
Roel Postman could be looking for a way up the inside of Dennis Schramm. Sunweiler wants to close that gap with Dennis Schramm.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving not in this game.
What a tight spot for Sunweiler. They have Roel Postman right on their tail 0.2 seconds away, and Dennis Schramm just inches away with a gap of 0.1 seconds. It's a true test of their racecraft. Bloody hell, Raimo Pedersen looks like they're chasing a ghost out there, but as we always say, every dingo has its hold on a second. Renault 99 has pulled into the pits. Roel Postman is giving it their all as they chase down Dennis Schramm in P4.
This ain't a trap, it's a coliseum. They're hiding out, putting on one hell of a show.
It's a battle of wits out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
If this battle ends in teams, it'll be like watching a racing dominate, but let's hope they keep it clean and avoid any unplanned games.
Sorry to cut in here, Klansky is pitting. It's a thrilling pursuit with someone right behind Roel Postman, keeping the pressure on for 5th place. Climbing, Sunweiler's shifted gears and the results are clear, cruising up to 5th just like that.
Amazing stuff, focus and precision, what it's all about.
The evolution of these cars over the years is nothing short of incredible. The aerodynamics, the tyre technology, it's all a game of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better. And to think about the data analytics behind every decision, from tire pressures to wing adjustments. It's not just a sport, it's a symphony of engineering and strategy.
It's an intense battle for position as Sunweiler tries to outmaneuver Roel Postman. This is edge of your seat racing.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Sunweiler.
Hold on a second, Klansky has decided to pit. Not much room to breathe for Roel Postman with Sunweiler trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at Eau de la Côte.
The chase between Sunweiler and Roel Postman is like a high-speed game of tennis. The stakes are much higher.
Oh no, what's this? Patrick Schwanz is in the pits. The gap between Sunweiler and Roel Postman is razor thin as they vie for 4th in this nail-biting contest. It seems like Sunweiler is struggling. They are not able to...
Can Sunweiler refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
Quim 1962 has pulled into the pits. The Ashwell 1962 strategy seems to be working in place now. 1962 is pitting. Every gear shift, every pedal push, Sunoiler's got one goal in mind, capturing Roll Postman's spot. Sunoiler's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
Crikey, that overtake by Sunoiler was smoother than a coldie on a hot summer day.
Well, from what I've seen with local crowds, that's how the big leagues play. But I gotta admit, this is next level.
As they speed through La Carrière, Sunoiler is relentlessly pursuing Roll Postma in a high-stakes battle for position. The engines roar, the tyres squeal, and amidst all this chaos, Dennis Schramm is making a statement in third.
Indeed, but in the fast lane, there's no time to relax. Dennis Schramm's grip on third will be tested.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Mark Smith, who is currently in P12. But Lars Ham is not making it easy. It's over a second. This will require some expert driving from Mark Smith.
Well, butter my biscuit. Mark Smith's hanging back like they're waiting for an inheritance. But ain't nobody dying up front.
As vast as the azure stretches of the Great Barrier Reef, so does Quim 1962's path ahead, filled with mystique and myriad challenges.
Kind of reminds me of fishing in the vast Carolina blue. A big catch might just be a castaway. Lukey here, I've seen some wild turns in my time, and just when you think it's all said and done, old Lady Luck might just wink your way. So don't count out Quim 1962 just yet.
The age-old challenge. Roll Postma is trying to catch Sunoiler, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks.
Good lord, at this rate, Roel Postma's gonna finish this race in the afterlife. Hope they got good insurance.
It's not coming up roses for Roll Postma. They're trailing Sunoiler and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. We often hear drivers complaining about tyre graining. Hal, can you explain what that means and how it affects car? Braking alert. It looks like Roll Postma has been called into the pits. A strong showing from Bogan Crongulance, who is currently 18th.
Definitely wrong, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
Assault braking alert. Roll Postma is in the pits. Braking update. Stuart Boyle has pulled into the pits. It's all about consistency for Stuart Boyle, who is currently 8th.
That's right. They can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
As the sun beats down and the engines roar, Quim 1962 stakes a claim in 10th.
Absolutely. And they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
Excellent incident alert. Stuart Boyle has decided to pit. It might be early days, but Stuart Boyle is already casting a shadow from the 8th.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Renault 99's grasp on the third speaks volumes. Well, butter my biscuit, Hal. Renault 99's dropped a clanger and Sunoiler's swooped in like a magpie at a picnic.
Just like a Carolina crow spotting a shiny trinket, quick and opportunistic. Reminds me of those Carolina summer storms. 1 minute it's all sun and sweet tea, next minute, boom. A downpour. Renault 99's gotta find shelter and quick, while Sunoiler is dancing in the rain.
Every fraction counts. Can Renault 99 close it enough to mount a challenge?
I agree. Renault 99 is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
Some say it's about the journey, not the destination, but Klangsky seems pretty intent on that 5th spot. Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailenders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. Assetto Corsa friends, where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI? And just like in any great drama, Megasaurus 55.
Hold up a mo. It looks like Megasaurus 55 has been called into the pits. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Dennis Schramm may be wide, but that doesn't mean Megasaurus 55 is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
It's like Megasaurus 55's out on the open highway, and Dennis Schramm still getting directions at the last gas station. Got a bit of catching up to do.
Stop the press. Sunoiler is pitting. You reckon Lars Hamp saw a spider in the cockpit? Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Quinn 1962 is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Lars Hampa in P10 doing everything they can to catch up.
In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Patrick Schwanz's skill is shining through as they claim 15th. Week's breaking alert, Sunoiler has pulled into the pits. Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. Lars Hamp, braking update. Oh, mate, that's how the old man used to drive after a couple of beers. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining.
Whoops, Quinn 1962 is going to be kicking themselves.
Well, it doesn't look like Roll Postma is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Lars Hamp. Race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Incident alert. Renault 99 is in the pits. Huntsman's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. Starting to look like we might get a battle between Roll Postma.
Just what Mark Smith needed, like sweet tea on a hot day. Can't let Roel Postma out of sight for too long.
It looks like Patrick Schwanz has been called into the pits. At this stage of the race, Patrick Schwanz is holding on to 15th. Anything can happen from here. Klangsky isn't just racing, they're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in 4th. Crikey, Klangsky's flat out like a lizard drinking, pulling away from Raimo Pedersen with quite a clip. The race has its rhythm, and right now, Dennis Schramm is dancing to its beat at first. Oh no, what's this? Quim 1962 is pitting. It's looking good for Megasaurus 55, sitting in 2nd.
They say racing's a game of nerves, and Megasaurus 55's surely holding theirs, keeping that 2nd spot warm.
Impressive stuff from Megasaurus 55, who has managed to pull away from Sunoiler, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes.
Megasaurus 55's looking tougher to pass than a kidney stone, driving with the authority of a southern
Incident alert. Quim 1962 has decided to pit. The crowd is on tenterhooks as Stuart Boyle in 7th chases after Renault 99. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Stuart Boyle find a way to catch up? Stuart Boyle seems to be losing the plot with Renault 99. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into Hollowell Straight and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. Oi, Quim 1962's giving it a red-hot go in 13th. Just a few kangaroo hops behind Jack M Team. Might see a cheeky move soon.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Quim 1962 needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
Quim 1962 appears to be losing ground on Jack M Team. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Burnenville and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. Oof, if Lars Hamp was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in their step.
When you talk about experience, it's like saying I've experienced my mother-in-law's cooking. Doesn't mean I want to do it again. But Lars Hampen, keep pushing.
Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Lars Hamp and Joe Ergue.
Looky here, Lars Hamp has got the optimal differential settings, allowing for tighter corner exits. It's like watching a cat chase a laser pointer when they chase your view.
Well, it looks like we have a bit of a traffic jam on the track.
It's like rush hour out there. I mean, I know we're in a race, but can't we all just get along?
Haha, I don't think that's how it works. These drivers are here to win, and they'll do whatever it takes to get ahead.
I guess you're right, but wouldn't it be great if we all just stopped for a cup of tea and a chat? We could have a lovely little race reunion.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Renault 99, commanding the 6th. Truth, Renault 99's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and Stuart Boyle. Is there anything left in Stuart Boyle's tank?
Yes.
Wait, Jack M Team has pulled into the pits. From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about Patrick Schwanz's masterful hold on the 15th. Struth, Lars Hamp's chances are looking thinner than a roux on a diet. Only way forward might be a bit of razzle-dazzle or a slip up ahead.
Well, every dog has its day, and this race ain't over till it's over. Well, butter my biscuit, the race ain't over till that flag waves. Got to keep those
A tough moment for Lars Hamp. Down to 11.
Well, slap my knee and call it a dance. Lars Hamp is taking a little sidestep.
It doesn't get any closer than this.
Mark Smith is so close to Roel Postman that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
Mark Smith has just whipped out a blinder of a lap. Faster than Roel Postman. Bet that's gonna ruffle some feathers. Mark Smith, who has gained positions and left Roel Postman in the dust. The pressure is on for Roel Postman to try to catch up to Mark Smith. Renault 99 is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 6th spot.
Oh, for sure. But remember, the rearview mirror can be just as crucial as the windscreen. Renault 99 needs to watch out for those lurking in the shadows.
This is what it's all about, folks. Roel Postman, who's just trying to stay ahead. Lars Hamp has moved up to 10th.
That's what we like to see. Lars Hamp is really showing their class here. Someone take the board?
Seems so. Lars Hamp's taken a slide, but knowing them, it breaks up and it looks like Lars Hamp. Quim 1962's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. It's all systems go for Richard Rossi, marking their territory. me down. Richard Rossier's lap time just gave the team a cheeky slap on the rear. Bet that left a mark. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Raimo Pedersen will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind, even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Dang, Richard Rosier is so far back, you might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
As rubber meets road, strategy meets luck, Joe View is etching their story in 8th.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, your view needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
Joe View's lead over Mark Smith is quicker than a cheap shirt in a hot wash. We're down to 5.4 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to mount on your view. They need to stay focused and not make any mistakes.
The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got Mark Smith cruising in front.
Yes, and this one, Mark Smith's cruise was against the numbers in the background. Mark Smith is hitting the apex of the gear, increasing their lead over roll post Mark. But can they keep it up without spinning out? That's right, Rob. It's all fun and games until someone pops a tire. Let's hope both of them can keep up with their stuff. That's a really strong performance from Mark Smith. They're not giving Roel Postma any chances to catch up.
Sometimes, I feel the strategy behind these races is deeper than a conversation at 3 a.m. in an outback pub.
You're telling me. It's like planning a family reunion in a small southern town. You've got to consider who's coming, who's feuding, and who's gonna cause a ruckus. Then prepare for it all to change in a heartbeat.
Blimey, Raimo Pedersen's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch.
You can feel the focus radiating from Quim 1962, confidently holding onto the 11th. Fair dinkum, mate. Quim 1962's got to pull their socks up. They're dawdling around like they're lost in the outback while Lars Ham's blazing the trail.
Quim 1962's looking like a deer caught in the headlights. Meanwhile, Lars Hampa is off to the races, making Mama proud.
If Raimo Pedersen goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available. Stone the crows. Raimo Pedersen's managed to trim the gap with plain ski, eh? Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down the beer. Joe View wants to find a way around Mark Smith.
Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
The crowd is on its feet as Raimo Pedersen chases down plain ski through Eau de Laco. Superb driving from Raimo Pedersen, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
You can't argue with results like that. Remo Peterson is really making their mark on this race.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Clang Ski is breathing down the neck of Remo Pedersen, not giving him any room to relax.
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what Clang Ski is doing to Remo Peterson right now, doesn't it?
It looks like Remo Pedersen is pulling away from Clang Ski. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Master Straight. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the front runners, Richard Rossier is showing prowess in 12th. Is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race. The engine roared, the tyres squealed, and amidst all this chaos, Mark Smith will make a mistake in the name.
But they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Mark Smith has to keep pushing to stay at the pace.
Mark Smith is not able to keep their pace consistent, so far they are 0.9 seconds down. Let's talk about tyre degradation. How does it affect the car's handling, and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speed, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
This race is proving to be, like wow, such an exciting one so far. Aren't we? Watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you? Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. It's gold, mate. Like, literally, if I had one, it'd be racing now. They're not just driving, they're performing. And Mark Smith's act from 8th is worth an encore.
The scent of the rubber, and Richard Rossier comfortably sitting at 12th.
Definitely wrong, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing.
It looks like not Clinton Kirkconnell hard to catch up to Patrick Schwanz. The gap is over a second, but not Clinton Kirkconnell is not giving up just yet. Can he close the distance and make a move on Patrick Schwanz?
Yeehaw, it's like not Clinton Kirkconnell to the driver. With the gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination to decide the race.
Richard Rossier is placed 12th at the moment. Seems like Richard Rossier is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. As the laps tick by, Remo Pedersen finds themselves in 4th. Every moment counts.
You're right. Every gear shift, every turn counts. Remo Peterson knows the weight of that 4th.
A commanding performance from Remo Pedersen, who has increased their lead over Clang Ski, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. But could they be pushing too hard? As with that comes the risk of overconfidence and losing control. Who will be the first to get too cocky and end up in the wall?
It's really looking like Remo Peterson is going to be tough to pass today. They're driving with real confidence and authority.
A solid performance from Anton Stamov, who is holding down 18th. Anton Stamov is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 17.5 seconds down. Blimey, Quim 1962 is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster.
Lordy, it's like Quim 1962's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jeb lost his front teeth.
Quim 1962's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with roll postman like a dingo after a roadrunner. A strong showing from Joe Ergue, who is currently 9th.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and York View's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Joe Ergue is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. In a world where milliseconds matter, Renault 99's grasp on the 6 speaks volumes. Well, looky here, pal, Stuart Boyle is closing in on Renault 99. We're talking a gap of just 22.0 seconds.
This is where the mental strength of Renault 99 comes into play. They need to stay calm and composed under pressure.
I love being here at Spa-Francorchamps 1966. What an awesome place to be witnessing these titans of the track battle it out.
Indeed, Rob, what a magnificent sight and sound. I love listening to the roar of these engines. Let's just listen for a moment.
Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailmen. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. Assetto Corsa, friends, where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI?
Roll posters got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. Where we're sitting, Renault 99 seems unmovable from that 6th. The action is heating up here as Joe Ergue is in 9th, retreating from roll postman, who is only 0.5 seconds away.
Now, that's some good old defensive driving from York View. Holding their line, keeping that rear view filled up with intimidation.
Oh dear, Joe Ergue has dropped down to 10th.
Sucks to be them wrong.
You know, not Clinton Kakaton reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, not Clinton Kakaton's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
Tire degradations are right pain in the arse, but he's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Patrick Schwanz, aren't they? Renault 99 is in the pits. In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Renault 99's skill is shining through as they claim 8th. As of now, Joe Ergue stands tall in the 10th spot.
Indeed, but in the fast lane, there's no time to relax. York View's grip in 10th will be tested.
Blimey, Mark Smith is farther back than my hairline. But you know what they say about Aussies? Never say die. Unless it's a spider. Then just run.
You know, Mark Smith reminds me of my dog chasing its tail, persistent and entertaining. But I hope for them, there's a better end result in sight.
Joe Ergue's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. Bugger me, Joe Ergue's got their thongs stuck in the mud. Meanwhile, Quim 1962 is off like a bucket of prawns in the sun. Huge shout out to the admins at Assetto Corsa friends for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be. Hold on a moment, Joe Ergu has decided to pit. Hold up a mo. Joe Ergu has pulled into the pits. Things are going according to plan for Joe Ergu, who is currently 11th. The race has its rhythm, and right now, Sunoiler is dancing to its beat at 3rd. Sunoiler's lead is shrinking faster than ice cream in the outback sun. At this rate, Raimo Pedersen will be on their tail in 7.5 seconds.
Sunoiler's gotta turn on the afterburners if they want to keep Raimo Pedersen in check.
With all these modern braking developments, Joe Ergu is pitted. It's as if Roll Postma is navigating the vast, cryptic verses of Van Gogh, aiming for a poetic conclusion before the rising cadence.
Down here, it's like they're trying to strum a ballad out of tune banjo, but the last note can still ring true. Now, racing is a lot like Southern barbecue. It's all about patience and keeping the heat just right. So, let's see if Roel Postma can cook up a comeback.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Quim 1962, commanding the 9th.
And just like in any great drama, Quim 1962 is the lead actor right now, captivating us all from the 9th.
It's all about consistency for Raimo Pedersen, who is currently 4th. The track tells a tale of speed, strategy, and skill. Today, rates Joe Ergu's journey in 10th. Looking at the lap times, Joe Ergu is not on pace with Mark Smith when they turn around.
Whoa there, partner. Your Ergu's slipping behind like a pickup on a slick road. Mark Smith's showing them how it's done.
As the sun beats down and the engine roars, Richard Rossier stakes a claim in 12th.
Oh, spot on. With the way Richard Rozier controls the crowd, you think they've got the track's blueprints. They better buck up or Mark Smith's gonna have them for brekkie. I reckon Richard Rosier's fiddling while Rome burns. Mark Smith's out there shaking and baking, putting on a show for us.
The way these cars grip the track is incredible. It's all about downforce. They're stuck to it like a piece of gum to the bottom of a school desk.
Now that's an analogy I get. But why's your gum always under the desks?
It's all systems go for Richard Rossier, marking their territory in the 12th. The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got Stuart Boyle finishing in 6th.
Couldn't agree more. Every lap is a story, and right now, Stuart Boyle's chapter from 6th is riveting.
Oh no, how look at this. Renault 99 is closing in on Stuart Boyle. The gap is now just 19.5 seconds. Patrick Schwanz is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 13th spot.
It's a dance, Rob. The way Patrick Schwanz holds onto that 13th, it's like they're leading in a tango.
Crikey, Patrick Schwanz's lead is slipping away quicker than a roux on the hop. Not Clinton Kakatan is now just 61.9 seconds behind. Mate, Roll Postman's got a stretch ahead that's longer than the Nullarbor. Going to need more than a tinny to bridge that expanse.
It's like fishing without bait right now. They're not gonna catch much at this rate.
Roll Postman is not here to muck about. The gap to Renault 99 is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 2.1 seconds. The tension is building as Joe Ergu travels behind Quim 1962. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Quim 1962 hold on, or will Joe Ergue be able to close them down?
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Quim 1962's favorite song? Maybe your view can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
Ripper of a move. Wait, Raimo Pedersen is in the pits. Stop the press. Raimo Pedersen has decided to pit. It's looking good for Bogan Cromulence, sitting in 16th.
Oh, for sure. But remember, the rearview mirror can be just as crucial as the windscreen. Bogan Cromulence needs to watch out for those lurking in the shadows.
You can feel the focus radiating from Patrick Schwanz, confidently holding onto the 13th. Stop the press. It looks like Raimo Pedersen has been called into the pits. The gap between Raimo Pedersen in 5th and Plank Skinny remains over a second, but Raimo Pedersen is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close the gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 24 minutes?
My mama used to say, you can't shine if you don't try. Guess Raymond Peterson missed that lesson. Just like my pie making class.
At this stage of the race, Dennis Schramm is holding on to first. Anything can happen from here. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the front runners, Patrick Schwanz is showing prowess in 13th.
Yes, and in this high-octane opera, Patrick Schwanz's voice resonates the loudest from that 13th.
Fantastic move from Patrick Schwanz, who has just gained a position.
Yes, Patrick Schwanz is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
The engines roar, the tires squeal, and amidst all this chaos, Dennis Schramm is making a statement in first. Dennis Schramm has pulled into the pits. Hold the phone. Dennis Schramm is in the pits. Dennis Schramm isn't just racing. They're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in first.
They say racing's a game of nerves, and Dennis Schramm's surely holding it, keeping that first spot warm.
Roll Postma has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Renault 99. I expect they're almost over this point, that Renault 99 makes an error. Stone incident alert. Dennis Schramm has decided to pit. With the asphalt burning beneath them, Dennis Schramm's strategy seems to be working, placing them in first.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, Dennis Schramm needs to maintain that razor-sharp.
Oh no, what's this? It looks like not Clinton Kakadin has been called into the pits. The rumble here, at the second of the rumble, Megasaurus 55 comfortably sitting at second. He's pulling away. Megasaurus 55 is increasing the gap to Sunholer.
Megasaurus 55 stronger out there than a bowl of North Carolina chili. They're not giving Sunholer a sliver of a chance to catch up.
We are used to seeing some hardcore but clean racing here at Assetto Corsa, friends. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. Any bloke or Sheila saying Assetto Corsa, friends, isn't top notch is a few kangaroos short of the top padding. Out there, it's art on wheels.
Totally get you. Like, they're born racers. That weaving, the speed, just mesmerizing. It's like watching a roo dodging a ute on a highway. All skill, mate, all skill.
Like a dingo on the chase, not Clinton Kakadin is hounding Patrick Schwanz, and the gap's now just 88.3 seconds.
Not Clinton Cockadin is hot on Patrick Schwanz's trailer like a Carolina Reaper. This is shaping up to be a nail-biter, folks.
Mate, Patrick Schwanz is really giving it a burl out there, ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
As the laps tick by, Sunholer finds themselves in third. Every moment counts.
Definitely wrong, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
As rubber meets road and strategy meets luck, Patrick Schwanz is etching their story in 12th.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Patrick Schwanz is pushing harder than a kangaroo in a boxing match, widening the lead over not Clinton Kakati. They've found their rhythm like a didgeridoo player in full swing.
It's clear that Patrick Schwanz is dominating right now. They're making it very difficult for not Clinton Kakati to catch up.
Hal, it's been a relatively quiet race so far.
That's right, Rob. The drivers seem to be pacing themselves and waiting for the right moment to make their move. It's like watching a slow dance.
Looks like Renault 99 is chasing Stuart Boyle harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right? The gap between Renault 99 and Stuart Boyle is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun. Tell me, mate, ever tried doing a burnout in a ute? It's bloody bonza.
A ute? You guys and your funny names. That's just a pickup, right? Trust me, I burned more rubber than you had shrimp on the barbie.
Looks like Richard Rossier's strategy might just be to let the rest of them go while age. It's a waiting game now.
Well, butter me up and put me on a biscuit. Richard Rosier is my mountain to climb. But knowing Richard Rosier, that's just a thing. Like trying to square dance in a round house.
In your experience, Hal, what was the most challenging aspect of maintaining concentration in the race?
The most challenging aspect of the ride was managing the various elements of distractions during the race from radio communication to commanding the and race strategy. It's a delicate balancing act that requires immense mental discipline.
Renault 99 is running 7th. They are trying to catch Stuart Boyle. In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, hold on a second, Patrick Schwanz is pitting. No room for error here. Renault 99 is breathing down the neck of Stuart Boyle, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
With the way Renault 99 is stalking Stuart Boyle, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
Someone should tell Stuart Boyle this ain't a Sunday drive. Renault 99's tearing up the track.
You see, it's moments like these that separate the champs from the chumps. And Renault 99 is looking every bit the champ today.
Yeah, Stuart Boyle, trailing so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy. Everyone's on the edge of their seats, or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Raimo Pedersen is getting closer to claim speed, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. Breaking development, Patrick Schwanz has pulled into the pits. Tell ya what, that person is trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just using a sausage sizzle?
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Roel Postma and thinking the same.
Well, don't come the raw prawn. Roel Postma is giving it some stick, pulling Stuart Boyle near 0.1 seconds. And Roel Postma has just won the place from Stuart Boyle.
Talk about turbocharged ambition. Roel Postma's got the afterburners on full blast today.
Ah, the age-old challenge. Stuart Boyle is trying to catch Roel Postma, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks. In a world where milliseconds matter, not Clinton-Kakaten's grasp on the 12th speaks volumes. Not Clinton-Kakaten's ripping it up out there, going harder than a roux on a trampoline and leaving Patrick Schwanz in their wake. Patrick Schwanz has decided to pit. Hold it down to it. Hold back the time. Patrick Schwanz is shaving off seconds like a barber on a busy body.
This ain't not Clinton-Kakaten's first rodeo, but they've got a real challenge in their hands keeping Patrick Schwanz in the rearview mirror.
The track conditions are looking good here today. The drivers will be able to push the cars to the limit, and it's going to make for some exciting racing. As of now, Spa-Francorchamps stands tall in the 15th spot.
You nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Spa-Francorchamps' position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the field.
It seems like Spa-Francorchamps is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tail enders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. Assetto Corsa friends, where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI? To Raimo Pedersen like a leaky tap dripping water. A bit more slip, and we'll be in for a real dogfight. This here's the make or break moment for Klansky. They've got to stay cool as a cucumber and keep it clean and neat.
You know, how, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider in the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Patrick Schwanz trying to outsmart and outmaneuver not Clinton-Kakaten. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
Well, slap my grandma and call me Sally. Patrick Schwanz has got more distance to cover than my cousin Cletus has teeth. But if anyone can bridge that gap, it's Patrick Schwanz. I tell you what, Patrick Schwanz has got more problems than a maths book right now. Not Clinton-Kakaten is leaving them in a cloud of dust. Ever wonder about the unsung heroes of racing? The pit crew. I reckon their job's as hectic as a barman's on a Friday night in Sydney. No doubt about it. It's like a pitmaster at a barbecue joint during a lunch rush. Everyone wants a piece, and they've got mere seconds to dish it out and make it perfect.
Watching Patrick Schwanz try to close that gap on not Clinton-Kakaten is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes.
Watching Patrick Schwanz right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
Patrick Schwanz has been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grips better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, not Clinton-Kakaten. Tell you what, Chip was him, driving like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today. croc sliding into water. Joe Erbu's got a battle ahead. Breaking update. It looks like Cromulence has been called into the pits. We've seen overtakes, close calls, and pure racing genius today. Currently, breaking news folks, Cromulence is in the pits. Richard Rossi and Silver Spider in the cockpit because they're running away from the front runners unsuccessfully. One thing I think about Assetto Corsa friends is the sense of community. It's not just about the competition, it's about coming together, sharing knowledge, and pushing the boundaries of the sport.
You nailed it. Every time we hit, it's a culmination of shared.
Breaking news folks, Patrick Schwanz has pulled into the pits. The crowd is on tender hooks as Quim 1962 in 9th chases after Stuart Boyle. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Quim 1962 find a way to catch up? Joe Erbu is placed 10th at the moment. You wouldn't read about it. Joe Erbu is putting a fair whack of space between them and Richard Rosier.
Yeah, Rob, Lord Hughes really hitting the gas, but then Richard Rosier kick it into high gear and catch up. Lord Hughes is controlling the track like a seasoned hound dog on the hunt, making it harder than a preacher's knee for Richard Rosier to overtake.
You ever ponder how these drivers manage the heat, especially in the tight cockpit? It's hotter than a ruse pouch in midday sun.
What? I mean, yeah, it's gotta be like driving in Arizona with the heater on, right?
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Joe Erbu, conducting the 10th.
That's right. They can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
A strong show from Lansky, who is currently 4th.
Absolutely. And they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
It's all about consistency for not Clinton Kakaden, who is currently 12th.
Couldn't agree more. Every lap is a story, and right now, not Clinton Kakaden's chapter from 12th is riveting.
The gap between not Clinton Kakaden and Patrick Schwanz is getting smaller. It's now down to 231.6 seconds.
That's a worrying sign for not Clinton Kakaden.
You know, back in Oz, we have a saying, flat out like a lizard kicking. That's exactly what not Clinton Kakaden is doing right now.
I've always wondered, what's that even mean? Lizards, drinks, racing? Y'all have a wild imagination down under.
It's looking good for not Clinton Kakaden, sitting in 12th.
Absolutely. Rob, it's like watching a maestro at work. Every move not Clinton Kakaden makes is pure art.
As Quim 1962 trails Stuart Boyle, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
This is where experience comes into play. Stuart Boyle has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But Quim 1962 is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the Titans?
Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take their driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. Things are going according to plan for Renault 99, who is currently 6th. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Roll post mode just blitzed past Renault 99 like they were standing still. Look at that, Renault 99 is hot on the tail of roll post. Sunoilers off the track. Reminds me of my first car, a real lemon. Drove straight but only in reverse. Things are heating up as Renault 99 tries to close the gap to roll post 9.
The rubber's burning, the crowd's yearning, and Renault 99's engine is churning to get past Roel Postman.
Gee whiz, Renault 99 is getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking. Geez, Renault 99's on roll postman's tail like a dunny door in a thunderstorm. But Martin, that's another kettle of fish. Roll postman has turned up the heat and trimmed between them and Renault 99, making a fair dinkum gap.
Well butter my biscuit, Roel Postman is holding the reins tight, ain't giving Renault 99 a chance to get ahead.
The gap might be more than a second, but Raimo Pedersen is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give.
Absolutely. Raimo Pedersen in 5th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Bloody oath, Raimo Pedersen is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to claim speed down to a scant 8.2 seconds.
Now this is what we call real racing. It's anyone's race, wide open as a Carolina sky. Who's gonna step up and take us to victory lane?
Remember when Richard Rossier was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Fair dinkum, Richard Rossier is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Joe O'Hugh is now down to a whisker at 79.0 seconds. Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
The track tells a tale of speed, strategy, and skill. Today, it narrates roll postman's journey in 6th. Roll postman is in front, but Renault 99 is clinging on like a koala to a eucalyptus branch, reducing the gap to 4.2 seconds. The race has its rhythm, and right now, not Clinton Kakavik is dancing to its beat at 12th.
It's a dance, Rob. The way Not Clinton Cockadon holds onto that 12th. It's like they're leading the tango. A commanding performance from Not Clinton Kakadon, who has increased their lead over Patrick Schwanz, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. You hit the nail on the head, Rob. They've got to keep their eyes on the prize and not let ego steer them off the track.
Raimo Pedersen's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind.
Exactly. Raimo Pedersen's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Like Stuart Boyle is pushing hard to catch up to Renault 99. The gap is over a second, but Stuart Boyle is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Renault 99?
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Stuart Boyle is trying to whip up a winning dish, but Renault 99 keeps hiding the main ingredient.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Quim 1962, who is currently in P9. But Stuart Boyle is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Quim 1962. This race is proving to be, wow, such an exciting one so far. We're privileged, aren't we, watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you? Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. Your insight.
Sorry to interrupt here, but Megasaurus 55 is pitting. Blimey, Klansky is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster. Strike a light. Klansky is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Sunoiler, did that sting a bit?
Klansky's driving like they stole something, and that something is Sunoiler's dignity. Ouch.
In a race where seconds count, Patrick Schwanz is counting on less of them between themselves and not Clinton Kakadin. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. Dennis Schramm is on fire in the last sector.
You got this. Keep your cool.
And there it is. Dennis Schramm has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Dennis Schramm remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
11 is Richard Rossier. In 16th, it's Anton Stamov. Not Clinton Kakadin in 12th. Coming in 13th, we have Patrick Schwanz. A nail-biting finish, but Sunoiler claims second place. That was an outstanding performance from Klansky. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium.
Fantastic result.
Taking fourth is Raimo Pedersen.